Good evening and welcome to the World of Tanks Pro League. I'm Paul Radovich, and alongside me is Mr. Stephen Sneed-Neal to bring you match day number 20. Yes, that's right. We are almost at the end of the season and just 2 more games to go next week on Monday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Central European time, and our third from last games tonight. And it's going to be quite tense.
It is.
We've got Virtus.pro in action to start us off against MYM, who have had a little bit of a sticky couple of weeks, has to be said, and they now can't finish any higher than the 4th place they currently occupy. But that's fine, because that means they make the playoffs. But there's a whole pack of teams breathing down their neck.
There is.
A whole lot. In fact, let's show you the rankings before we get into anything else right now. As you can see on your screen, Virtus.pro still top of the league and almost, not quite, but almost confirmed as champions. They've won 18 straight now after losing their opening game against Spale. They have 54. Synergy in second, 48. Had a couple of slip-ups from them, losing to Mouse Sports recently, and of course against Virtus.pro. They're 6 points behind right now, which means if they lose this evening and Virtus.pro win, Virtus.pro will claim the title of the league table as it is right now. That's the regular season, but not the overall title for Season 1. Even if Synergy win tonight, Virtus.pro will then still be 6 points clear if they win, and with 2 games to go. One of those is against Synergy on the final day, so that might end up being a decider. But should we have the first defeat in 19 games this evening by Virtus.pro against MYM, then Synergy would have the chance to close the gap to just 3 and still have to play them. So then, things get a bit more exciting.
That's right.
As far as the top of the table is concerned. Mouse Sports in clear 3rd now. They can't be caught, so they're actually confirmed in the playoffs. They will definitely make at least the playoffs, as will the other top 2. Mouse Sports, by their own admission, are very close to Synergy now, having beaten them already this season. They're 6 points adrift, but they do have a game in hand against MYM. And if they win tonight and Synergy lose, that gap becomes almost non-existent. So 2nd place is not assured yet for Synergy, but only Synergy can catch Virtus.pro. MYM currently in 4th. They're going to be playing tonight against Virtus.pro. They're in the middle of a real beastie battle right now for those top 6 positions, because the next 3 spots are all tied at 30 points. Dragonborn's a little bit inconsistent here and there, but were really good last week. Spale, likewise, been very inconsistent. One week they'll lose to someone like Lucky Karaki, and then the next week they'll beat MYM. So you just don't know what you're going to get from the Finns. They're in the mix as well with 30. Kasnakru on 27, just outside the playoffs right now, and their future is not in their own hands. But I can tell you, they have a much easier run-in than Dragonborns, who are just above them. So they still have a chance of squeaking into the playoffs, as do Evil Panda Squad. But their season looks like it's coming to a close in the bottom half of the table. They're 6 points adrift right now of Spale. They have to win this evening. Asuba, well, their playoff chances are almost gone. They're 9 adrift. And Alpha are definitely not going to be making the playoffs. In fact, the bottom 3 are in a bit of a relegation dogfight. And on Monday next week, we have Alpha versus Lucky Karaki, which, well, not could, but will decide which of those 2 teams are more likely to finish in the bottom 2. And 1SBB Zavisha, which I never thought I'd be saying this at the start of the season, are almost relegated.
Well, they are. You can actually say it's quite sure that they're not going to make it anymore, especially if you look at the teams that we're facing. One of them is going to be Mouse Sports, the other one's going to be Spale. Mouse Sports going to be a tough one anyway. Spale needs a point, so they're going to fight as hard as possible to secure these points. So it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be really hard for them. Yeah,
so there's your rankings. Top 12 in the Pro League, Season 1. Who makes it through to the playoffs at DreamHack in just a few weeks' time? It's the big $10 million question. Well, not quite 10 million, but, you know, phraseology that we use. We're going to kick off this evening with MYM versus Virtus.pro. Last time these 2 met, 3-0 to Virtus.pro. That won't surprise you. But before we get to the game, let's introduce you to the other member we have on our show. She is the wonderful, the birthday-wished Melly. How you doing, Melly?
I'm good.
You're good. You're a good liar.
No.
Did you enjoy your birthday last night?
I did, yes.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday. We were doing all that last night, weren't we? It was good. Do you remember that? Do you not remember that?
She probably can't remember.
Okay. Yeah, we did do that last night. Well, we did do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
You
At the
do
bar.
remember, at the bar, exactly. Yeah, that's what we were doing. So,
Exactly. Well, good morning.
So, yeah, but birthday
Just
gal from
got up,
yesterday.
yeah.
Melly, 21 yesterday.
Yes.
We'll try and keep the pretense going. And newly finished all her papers and is now going to be monitoring all the social media for you this evening.
Exactly.
On Twitch chat, of course. And also find out what the community think about Virtus.pro and MYM.
Yeah. I will put up a vote on Facebook, facebook.com/WoT Pro League. And you can vote in front of every matchup for your favorite team. And let's see the predictions of the community. And yeah, also questions. If you got any questions, just send them to me via Twitter or Facebook or even in a Twitch chat. And I will ask Paul and Steven for the answers. And yeah, I think that's all.
That's pretty much it. That's what you're here to do. So, yes, thank you very much. We will check in with you throughout the show. Do keep your questions coming as well. You can also engage with us on Twitter at Paul Challoner and at
SNE91.
I mean,
I would have to
what is
mention that.
really?
People should know it.
There it is on the screen for you, because Tim's good and he can do that kind of thing.
Yeah. I was just talking to the
I mean, why
players.
SNE91? I mean, I noticed you had like your nickname and your birth date, but could you not have come up with a better one on Twitter? Were you late to the party?
I was a bit late.
Were you?
Yeah.
Stephen Neal had gone many years before.
Oh, wait. Well, everybody would like that name, wouldn't
Yeah, well, yeah, quite. I mean, I used to have at Redeye.
they? You don't have
When
that anymore?
yeah, no, and I got rid of it because I was like, no, I should probably use my real name on Twitter because I was doing social media business. So I changed it, and now I can't get at Redeye back now.
That's bad.
The
You
guy
should,
won't-
you
won't-
should have secured it,
I know.
just
I
in
know.
case.
I know, I should have just opened a new account, but never mind. I was an idiot. What a surprise.
Yeah.
So, MYM versus Virtus.pro. Let's take you through the lineups now of these two teams. MYM, of course, an eclectic mix of players, and Virtus.pro very much the Russians in the league. MYM line up with Delgado, Nick Lemos, Positive, Winnie the Pooh, Agriel, Sek, Ostap Bender, and Ronnie. And Virtus.pro with Begamot, Breakneck, Delight, Entex. I always struggle with the next one, K23 Emelka. I don't know.
Somebody,
it's like, I don't know how to say it.
I got it in the message
Kuchok
thread.
Ovaku.
I can't do that one.
Yeah, which you can't do. Las Vegas, Derp, and Diver is the last of the lineups. There's
I
your
got
two
a message
lineups
the other
between
day.
Virtus.pro and MYM. Yeah.
Explaining how to pronounce the nicknames.
Did you? All of them?
Many Russian ones.
Okay.
But I still can do it.
Really?
And like there's one with Andrew or something like that, and
Yeah.
with two letters in front of it,
Yes.
and he explained that it was Andrew. That was the easiest one, and he explained what the two letters before.
Right.
But I don't want to say what they mean
Okay.
because that wasn't. It seems not to be nice.
Sure.
And there's some other ones where you just think, how should anybody know to pronounce it that way? Like there's some things in there you just think.
Yeah, no, it's a difficult language.
Yeah.
For English-speaking people, it's
Definitely
a
for
very,
English-speaking,
very
isn't it? Yeah.
difficult language. However, we are ready for tank picks. So let's get into map number 1, which will be Himmelsdorf. Good old Himmelsdorf. And unfortunately, we don't have our lovely tank picking screen today.
That's bad.
It makes me sad. But nevertheless, we will bring you the tank picks. Right now, tank picks T1 5100s for both teams in the first round. T69 IS3 for Virtus.pro. T1 5100 for MYM. That's then been duplicated again for Virtus.pro. And we now wait for the last of the picks, which will be one each on either side. I think they were a little bit confused as to whether they should have been picked or not.
Yeah.
But that's fine. They were
No problem.
They were fast to the gun, and we're okay with that. At least they're not Synergy. Oh,
Well,
poor old Synergy. Do you know what? When we meet up at DreamHack, Synergy are just going to take me outside and give me a good hiding.
They will.
I think that's what they're going to do.
They will.
Yeah.
I think every team will, because you're the reason why we changed the rule.
I know. I'm pretty much responsible for that rule. IS3 and T69 for MYM is their third round pick, and Derp will finish off giving Virtus.pro an IS3. So I'll go through those in a minute. Looks like they've gone for IS3, T69, two 5100s, two T1s, which presumably means we'll get either another 5100 or an IS3 as the last one for them. And it's going to be an IS3 for MYM as well. They've also gone double IS3, double 5100, double T1, and a 69. So an exact replica of a lineup between the two teams.
That's right. I'm not sure if you already mentioned first map of today. Himmelsdorf.
Yes.
Sorry for that.
No, that's all right. It's okay if you don't pay attention.
I do usually, but there's a lot of questions going on at the moment.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're having to do a bit of adminning, are you?
Well, just someone asking for the final call, you know, and since somebody's got to be the boss, and I like being the boss. It's the only way where the only situation where I can be the boss, you know.
Is it?
That's why I want to enjoy it.
All right. Are you with a woman at the moment?
No.
No, okay.
Well, even though I'd be with a woman, would I be the boss?
No.
No.
I was just trying to point that out. I mean, you know, the only time that you are the boss is when they let you think you're the boss.
Yeah.
And then you're not the boss.
No, you're not really the boss. They just make you do whatever you want, whatever they want anyway.
Correct.
And just give you the feeling that it's your decision. Damn these women. No offense.
Love them. Can't live without them.
Yeah.
What
Bad
can you
thing.
do? Anyway, ladies aside, we are going to move on to Himmelsdorf. MYM just asked for 1 minute to be readying up.
Well, the time picking went so fast, we can give them that.
It did. I mean, it's like a rocket ship through there. Very quick indeed. Looks like... No, we're good. Yeah, we are good. So the good luck have funds have been exchanged. And map number 1 of this very important game for these two sides. Virtus.pro need to continue winning, having already won 18 straight. This would be their 19th consecutive win of the season, and their 19th of the season. It would be a brand new record. They set the new record every week. And as we've said already, we will be on the town of Himmelsdorf.
That's correct. Himmelsdorf, nice city map. No artillery needed. That's the only map where I can say for sure we were never going to see an artillery. I actually thought we could say that about Ensk as well, but we've already been proven wrong, so not going to do that anymore. But Himmelsdorf, I'm 100% sure about that. And yeah, usually left-hand side you got the tracks. Some pushes come over there. One other possible push is through the middle. We already saw that a few times as well. And the fight, and on the right-hand side you got the small 8 road. I think we decided to name it Banana.
Yeah, explain.
I think, was it Magus who was keeping calling it Banana?
Oh dear. Oh.
Oh, we have to restart.
Oh dear. Okay, that's not good.
So back to training room.
Damn it.
That's right.
See, I can even affect games going wrong.
You just break anything what you touch.
I do. I break everything technical and technical.
Yeah.
Loves
But
to hate me.
You just leave the room.
Yeah, I will. I will leave the room. Are we going back to garage?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then back to training.
That's right.
Okay.
We have to wait till... Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Click what's up. Under the battle.
What? Oh, that one.
There we go.
Okay.
So we are sorted. Just wait for the other players to rejoin the room, and then we can kick
What
this
do
up
you
again.
know? These things happen from time to time, I suppose.
There's nothing we can do.
No.
If a player drops, and we don't want 7 versus 6. That'll be...
No.
And first of all, not at this stage of the tournament.
No.
And second, it won't be nice to watch either.
Indeed, I agree. We will be bringing our second map for you this evening as well. We are almost ready to go back underway on Himmelsdorf. And our second match of the day, we are back in game, so we can drop you in there now. Second game of the day will be Mouse versus Spale, or Spala. We still haven't figured it out. I mean, I'm going to talk to the Finns if they make it through the playoffs. And I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go out for a drink with them because I've been out with Finns before drinking. Trust me. One of my best friends in the world, Michael, is actually a Finn, and I don't know what they do in Finland to get like drunk because they obviously can't get drunk. It's impossible for them.
The thing is, I wonder how they even afford it. You know, that's like the one thing because.
Well, it is expensive out there, but they've, you know, I mean, Michael used to tell me that they've got nothing else to do, so that's why they're good at drinking. I'm not slighting the Finns, I'm sure, but I shall meet up with the Spale or Spala people, and they will tell me themselves face to face what they would like me to call their team name, and from then on it will be fixed. Right now we've got a game underway in Himmelsdorf. We've got Virtus.pro pushing 4 tier 8 tanks up the hill. So this is a bit different from them again.
They had their cheesy tactic, didn't they? With
sending
up 3. They
sent up 3 with 1 T1 up there.
Yeah, and then
the
going with
T1
4.
was nice and fun. And now they're going with 4 tier 8. I have seen them do this in another game. Not one that we witnessed on the TV, but I have seen them do this before. So this isn't new from them, but it's potentially new against MYM, and I'm not sure they're going to be aware of this.
No, MYM is not prepared in any kind of way for this. They actually have one. No, they have 2 tanks towards the left-hand side. T69 up there. Already spotted the other T69 with Amelka. Taking some damage as well.
Yeah.
Managed to do some damage himself. So
both of them are actually just sitting there firing backwards and forwards. Amelka actually does get off a final shell before getting hit, so he wins the battle, as it were, because they're both 1350 health. One is down to 731, which is YR, and Amelka has 845. So he sort of slightly ahead in terms of the one.
But looking at the remaining split from MYM, we have one AMX 5100 on the track side on the one line. We have 2 IS-3s down at the bottom on the D line. And then you've got an AMX 5100 backing up YR and his T69 just in case some kind of push comes. But they're not aware of anything up that hill. They don't know that the 3 heavy tanks already around that castle. Now, in a bit, if we see Delight, he's just going to come around there. And still, YR doesn't know what's going on. He's just going to come around right that corner. He's going to take him apart.
Yeah, I mean, they've got Begamot's actually going to go and try and spot from the hill. You've never heard of a Tier 8 spotting, have you? But now you have, from the hill. And here we go then. Delight round the corner, comes face-to-face with YR, who immediately engages reverse in the fastest possible way that he can get away. Is he going to get away? He is just about going to survive with 115 left. And Delight only had 80 left himself. That 5100's armor not helping him whatsoever. And he's now called in supply from Kuchok over Chaki, and Amelka is right next to him as well. Let's go back to them and see if they can finish off that last tank. Actually, it was Positive who came back round to save the day.
They didn't actually expect any other tank sitting on that corner, and then Positive's right behind him, managed then 2 tanks against 1. That's why Delight took so much damage. And then again, they tried to push with the IS-3 and do some damage, but all shells missed Positive. So he got away, actually, without losing a single HP, doing a lot of damage himself. So nice job from Positive.
Yeah. Look at the 4 up on top of the hill right now, though. Delight, 80 points of health from his 1400. Begamot, 1035. Kuchok is 1241 and Amelka 845. They're all damaged up there.
Yeah, and on the other side, only YR down 115. Oh no, sorry. Also, Ben also took a lot of damage. He's down to 641. So yeah, that's painful as well. But overall, it looks like Virtus.pro took way more damage.
Certainly does. Got Breakneck down here, now joined by Delight into the town. Delight's actually going to go back and do some cap defending, I think, because that's just about all he can pick up here. And I don't think this tactic has necessarily worked for Virtus.pro.
Not yet, but now you're going to see a big push coming.
Yeah, you're right, there is a big push. It's a line of tanks all coming down through the 7 line right now. Breakneck is sitting there waiting. We've also got Winnie the Pooh, Ostat Bender and YR all lining up for them. And this is a big opportunity for one of these 2 teams to take the advantage right now. Breakneck does land a couple of shells. Positive has picked up the first kill. Overchaki comes back in to get the kill onto Winnie the Pooh. Ostat Bender surely going to go down. There's a lovely shot from Begamot. Long range down that 7 line. Picks up the kill on YR. And now Ostat Bender is definitely going to go down. Breakneck picks up the kill. And Virtus.pro now have equalised it back up at 3-3.
Yeah, now Positive has to buy as much time as possible here because the tanks are capping. There's only 7 seconds left. If he managed just to hold him down long enough, this can be enough. But the IS-3 is coming around the corner. So 2 seconds left. 1 second.
They're going to get this. They are going to get it. And they have. They've managed to cap the base. Ally base is captured. What do you know? GG, says MYM.
That was a close one.
Where did that come from?
So all that push going on over the 8 line was actually never meant to win it. It was all down to buy enough time that your tanks in the cap circle will have enough time to finish off the cap. Yep. Positive doing it good as well. He wasn't even in the cap circle because he thought if he goes in there, the cap points are going to start spreading over the tanks. If he gets then shot because he was open, it's going to decap. So not even bother going in there. There's already 3 tanks in there anyway, so you don't want to be spreading it even more. And Positive outside the cap circle, putting on some pressure as well, killed a tank, killed another tank afterwards, then also just delaying as much as possible. Worked out perfect.
It did work out perfectly. Well played. And, yeah, as the scoreboard says, Positive picking up 3 for 2,251. Top player in the round. And a really nice strategy from MYM.
It was.
Really nice.
But again, you have to look at the small things what happened here. I think Positive, again, was the man of the game. He done the damage up on the hill. Yep. He was a surprising tank there in the cap circle. This is like, again, one of these small things what many teams won't think about if it comes down to capping, because you usually think the more tanks in the cap circle, the faster you're going to cap. But 3 is the maximum anyway. And if you put 4 in, you won't cap faster, but you're splitting the cap points between 4. Yes. In some cases, it can be good because then you have to shoot more to decap. But in this case, if Positive would have cap points on him as well, and he was an open target, that would buy Virtus.pro enough time to then decap, come around the corner, then decap the next tank, and then actually win the game. Because overall, it was looking better for them if it comes down to tanks.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's a small difference.
So do you think that the 4-tank push up on the hill of Himmelsdorf cost them?
It would have worked if... I think it would have worked if Big went around the corner to spot him, because that gave away the position, because he was spotted, and then you straight away, hang on, something's around his corner.
Yeah.
So if he would have gone right around the corner with, I can't remember who it was. Delight it was?
Yes, Delight.
So if Delight and Big would have both go around the corner,
and they'd got that first kill.
Then they would have got the first kill and then done enough damage onto positive as well. That would have made a big difference then, and that would have given him the advantage.
But they also sent one player back to the cap circle who only had 80 points of health.
That also didn't work.
No.
Because he couldn't. Yeah, he knew if he could around the corner.
Yeah.
He's going to get shot.
But really nice distraction down the 7 line as well. So, good stuff. Good start for MYM. We're ready for the tank picks for game number 2. So let's drop you in there right now. And second map will be this map. There's something really important about it. Oh yeah, it's your favourite map, right?
Damn, how do you know that?
Yeah, I try to remember. Everything's.
You already noticed? Look forward. You already noticed something? No, look up there. You notice something?
Yeah, we've got the tank picks back.
You got the overlay back?
We have, yeah, we fixed it. Well, Tim has, because Tim's a genius.
He's awesome.
So we actually better rush through these, because these guys have decided... What?
Do you think he'll marry me?
No.
Tim?
No.
Oh, damn. He's so good.
Yeah.
Could do with him in the kitchen or something. He fixed everything.
I think his kudos probably lies in technical stuff, not cooking. Although he does cook.
Do you think he can make anything work?
I think he might be able to. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
there
think
you go.
He might be able
Tim,
to make
do you want to marry me?
Oh. No, he's saving himself for a better man.
For you?
No, not for me. I'm not good enough.
You're not better.
I'm not worthy. Anyway,
tank picking.
Tank picking has begun. Let's move swiftly on before we get into some real trouble. 1390 T69 double for MYM, and also Virtus.pro have also had that for their first round. T2 Light and a 1390 for Virtus.pro in round 2. And round 3, here come the big news. MYM with Storm Panzer 2 and the 52, and Virtus.pro double up the artillery with a Bison and the GW Panther.
That's right. We see many times the Bison and GW Panther on this. I think I still don't 100% sure know why, but I think because the GW Panther, you want a big artillery in there with the turning turret, and on the other side you want the Bison to drop down behind hard positions, like where normal artillery won't actually hit. Put the Bison there, he can drop a shell behind it. So I think
I actually, of the last few weeks we've been watching, the Bison has become the one piece of artillery that, to me, seems to be better value for
we worked that last
tiers. If you know what I mean. It's a tier 2 artillery, but the amount of damage it's doing right now, I think
last week
in comparison to like the Lorraine, which is a 7, it's absurd that you would pick anything above the Bison right now.
I think on Monday, the last show, we had 800 per tier point
average
damage.
Yeah.
And then on the Lorraine, we had like 150, 200 average. Per tier point. So you can see the Bison is definitely worth his points.
Value for money wise, it's
I would have said the Storm Panzer as well, though.
I wonder as well, when we get the next update, just what changes we might see.
The accuracy, like rumors say, the accuracy is going to be better. So like the shells will land more on target, but the artillery itself will be coming higher in tier points. The shell damage is reduced. So I'm not sure.
I'm always scared that we might not see double artilleries again.
But again, there's new artillery is going to be introduced.
Yeah, of course.
New low tier. So it's going to be how these new low tier artillery is going to be viable for or playable for esports.
Yeah, indeed.
And that's down to the pro teams.
Final 2 picks are in. MY have gone for T2 Light. It's the only thing they really could have gone for with the amount of tier points they had left. And on the other side, it's a T69 for Virtus.pro. So they line up with 2 1390s, 2 69s, a 52, a T2 Light, and the Storm Panzer 2 for MYM. Over on Virtus.pro's side, they start with 2 269s, double 1390, a T2 Light, and then double artillery with the Bison and the GW Panther.
That's right.
And we are ready.
So now that we can kick this one off.
I do want to change the keyboards in this.
Always, I do, but then somebody changes back.
Well, it's just that they're mechanical.
Oh, you mean that because you can always hear the button?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're very loud.
They are.
I mean, you know, that's very loud.
But I think, well, for normal streams, when people stream at home, especially in games like StarCraft, I think they like it because they want the people to hear how often they smack these buttons. But for such a show, you're right. Maybe a nice Apple keyboard. It's the only one thing I like from Apple. Their keyboards. The only thing I like.
Really?
I'm more the Samsung guy.
Apparently, we've got a 1 minute
Again.
delay from MYM, but as soon as they picked through quickly, that's fine.
Yeah.
So mine's. So a good map, apparently.
It is.
Quite like this one.
Not just me. Well, I don't like it.
No,
I told you
love
last
it.
time. No, I told you last time. Since you've been keep on picking up, I've been starting to hate this map.
Really?
Yeah. Just because everybody thinks I like it, so I have to change. I have to change the things. Yeah.
Interesting. So we're about to get underway on mines.
So the Italian city.
Mine. Pretty sure that's Spanish.
No, I'm still saying it's Italian. The Italian village on the right-hand side. We actually saw a push for that last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
On Monday.
Yeah,
Sorry,
we
I keep
did.
on thinking
Yeah.
last week. It was Monday.
No, it was Monday.
Yeah. So Monday we saw a push for that. Not that often. It doesn't happen that often, but it seemed to work out really good. It's because it doesn't happen that often. People don't expect it. So yeah. Every now and then you see some action going over there. Main part of the map is actually the left-hand side and the middle just to get the spots up, and the left-hand side. I think the left-hand side is becoming the most favoured side by the teams at the moment, just because you always push the T2 light down there to be annoying, and then later the overtanks follow as soon as you manage to get rid of the spots there. But for now, looking at Virtus.pro.
Virtus.pro, hello. Interesting. They're going to leave... Well, obviously the two artillery, but I thought for a second they were going to leave Begamot down there as well as cover, just in case they were rushed. But instead, they've left him on the edge of the cap circle, which means that they've pushed the other four across the left-hand side of the map towards the Lighthouse Island. Delight's actually stayed on this side, so has Breakneck, and so has Amelka. Actually, the only person that's gone over that far side is Derp right now in that T2 light. So he's the only one spotting on the far side. Instead, they've left these other three right here, and they've already come under a bit of fire here. Delgado is already right forward, and Agrio has also made his way forward into what? Sort of G8 sort of location. Is now taking some damage as well. So
nice artillery connection there onto
very
Agrio.
interesting from the artillery.
We saw something like this from Dragonborns on Monday too, but they just went right for it. Here, MYM is doing kind of a half push. Delgado has just dropped down on that side, and 2 AMX-39 is way out on Agrio. Agrio did take some damage from the artillery.
Whoa.
Delgado now got taken down by Begamot and Delight in the middle.
Yeah, it was
and
Amelka.
and Amelka finishing him off.
Finishing him off. But yeah, Breakneck doing a little bit of damage. Now Ostad Bender comes flying around the side here. He will take the second shell, but the first one didn't land. Then a little bit of artillery comes in as well. The artillery doing its job right at the back there. Ostad Bender running for his life right now. Those tracks are burning underneath his tank with 183 health. His teammate alongside him, Positive. Well, he's gone down.
To the Bison.
And it's gone down to the Bison again. So
that would be a hard shot for the GW Panther. That's where the Bison comes in handy.
Here we go. Look.
Panther could have done as well, but now Breakneck
through the tank as well. Lovely shot there from Breakneck. And that's going to be GG. They've got Ronnie and Winnie left. And 5-0 in less than 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Virtus.pro were not happy at being beaten on Himmelsdorf. And this is going to be game over now.
Yeah, the idea from MYM was good, but it just looked like we want to push. They came to a certain point, and then it looked like, now we don't want to push anymore. And they didn't commit to it. So it was just easy for Virtus.pro to use the artillery. The GW Panther done some nice hits.
Yep.
And we can have a look at the damage.
Well, let's look at the damage right now. GW Panther 1495 and the Bison 669. So not quite as strong as it was before, but combined that's over 2,000 pieces of damage. Which if you got that from one tank, you would have been happy with.
Yeah, that's 8 tier points together.
Exactly.
And let's look at the tier 8 tanks, what they done in damage.
Well, Breakneck T69 2 for 343.
Yeah.
Derp actually picked one up for 150, of course, at the end. But then the others, 1426 and 1495. The T69 767 for 3 from Amelka, because he was kind of like a backup man in the end, getting off the final shot. So I'm sold.
Yeah.
Sold, absolutely sold. The artillery did its job perfectly on that particular map. And that is 1-1, and Virtus.pro were not happy with that first map. So in the second map, they've decided, like, the very direct approach.
Let's win it.
Yeah. And but to be fair, MYM have a very positive way of pushing as well. They managed to push all the way to the edge of the Spanish village.
Yeah.
And also through the middle as well. So
they also done some damage doing that, because they managed to get behind the tanks on the hill. So it was a good idea. But again, staying in the open against 2 artilleries, I'm not sure if that's the way you want to do it against
Yeah,
artilleries.
indeed. Okay, we are ready for tank picks for map number 3. That's how fast it's going this evening. It's incredible. So let's get the map picks underway. We've got a T2 Light and a 1390 so far for Virtus.pro. And map 3 rather. Come on, I'm sort of falling behind myself here. Is Airfield, which can sometimes be a bit of a long, drawn-out game. But we've also seen some fast matches from Virtus.pro on this one as well.
We also saw a fast game from a team we never would have expected.
Are you gonna praise Dragonborns now?
Yeah.
Are you?
They're not called Drillborns anymore. They
No.
lost that name.
No, or Dragonborns.
Now they're called Rushborns, maybe?
Rushborns.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might like that.
They might do. Hopefully.
Dragon bombs. That's what I'm going to call them from now.
Or Dragon Bombs, yeah, that's a good one as well.
They were dropping bombs all over the place.
They were.
On Monday. Yeah, we went out. I saw Marcus last night, actually, and did catch up with him, and I did remark that we'd poked a little bit of fun at his team. And the funny thing is, he said that the team were a little bit irritated by it.
Yeah.
And that sort of spurred them to be a bit more aggressive.
But it wasn't meant in...
No. We weren't meaning it in a derogatory way at all. But it's just that, you know, they had started to have a style of play which was a little bit boring and very passive. And that's fine. If they feel like they can win more matches that way, then that's up to them. We're not going to dictate to them how they should play.
No, number one is in their mind should be winning the game.
Absolutely. And if winning the game means they're being passive, then that's what they're being. And if they're not entertaining us, well, that's not their fault, really. They don't have to entertain us. But we do. What we're starting to see with these 12 teams is we are starting to see characters appear.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it. And Spale, for instance, I think they're the entertainers in the league.
They're
the people that just throw stuff in there. You just go, holy Moses, what are they doing right now? Either good or bad sometimes. It can be kamikaze sometimes, but it can also be very entertaining. Dragonborns, on the other hand, very methodical, very logical, think things through, very passive. Synergy, we've seen them, they take their time, they're very methodical, and they just want everything to be exactly how it should be. That's fine.
Nothing happens without it
absolutely. Virtus.pro, just very clinical. I think we've seen that all through the season.
Yeah.
So a lot of the teams are starting to build some character behind them, and that's what happens.
But on the other hand,
there's got to be some bad guys in the league too.
That's us too.
Oh, is it? It probably is, actually.
But on the other side, if you think about it, they've done the rush style. They fought it through as well, because I was talking to Dr. Tier from Dragonborns, and he told me that they actually prepared these tactics for hours before the game. So it wasn't just kind of some random tactic they came up with 5 minutes before the game started. So they prepared it, and looking at it, it worked out really good for them, and it was really strong. And the other team didn't seem to have an answer to it, so why not try it that way?
Indeed. Tank picking continued then. 1390 T69 from MYM doubled. T6090 won from Virtus.pro. That was followed up with Lorraine coming out for Virtus.pro. MYM going for the 52 and the Storm Panzer 2, though. So we get a single piece of artillery, one at either end of the scale, one at tier 3 and one at tier 7. So overall, MYM lining up like this. 2 1390s, 2 69s, a 50-2, a Storm Panzer 2 and a T2 Light. And Virtus.pro, meanwhile, are we? Yeah, we are. Okay. Virtus.pro also have 3 1390s, T2 Light, T69, and a T1, also backing up the Lorraine for the artillery. So they've gone heavy artillery this time, and with big numbers on the tier 7. We are moving on to map number 3. It's Airfield.
Airfield, as you said, it can be a quite defensive map. You see a lot of positioning around the middle, just sticking around there, waiting for the right opportunity to actually push, maybe to outnumber the enemy. In the middle, you got a lot of scout fires going on, just messing around, seeing where the people are on the map, all that kind of stuff. So it's again, you hardly see any pushes down in south, I have to say. We once saw a push from Synergy, maybe even. I can't remember which team it was. We saw a really aggressive push down the bottom.
Well, Dragonborns on Monday. They pushed
out on the top, didn't they?
They pushed 4 out towards the airfield and won the game.
Yeah, so
which was I was really impressed with that, because that was something we've not seen. We've seen it when you spawn west. We've seen pushes out towards the hangar, the aircraft hangars out, as you're seeing right in the middle of your screen right now. But I've never seen people push 4 very confidently and very fast all the way out onto the runway strip, as we see it in the distance there. So that was a new thing from Dragonborns last night, and it was very good.
Well, I think that was good, because usually teams split at the beginning just to cover all the map, and then later team up and then do a push. And because Dragonborns was pushed complete with their full team, they was outnumbering the enemy easily. So on the other side, we're not seeing much splitting going on from MYM at the moment. You just see Aggro in the base, getting rid of all the cover. Just zoom out and see what he's done so far. See Many buildings already destroyed. Still, some are still standing because you don't want to clear them all, just in case you need cover as well. Because if you clear all the cover, you can't get in there to do the nice shots. So just clearing enough to have some open spots where the artillery can shoot and where you can get some good anger on. And yeah, the remaining team just sticking around the middle, as we said, even a bit more defensive. Usually the middle position is where YR is, and then around this area. But we see Ostapbender and Positive a bit further back, just to cover the left-hand side here, just in case anything's up the middle or the Roman Greek middle. We still haven't decided yet where Agriel is now heading.
Quite funny actually, because Begamot is actually on those ruins right now and is busy scouting it out. He is a bit of a lone ranger right now. Ooh, he's just caught sight of Agriel actually and decides better of going down that side. Knows that he's sort of slightly protected there, although that artillery did land and destroyed the tracks, which were easily repaired, but he hasn't taken any physical damage.
It actually was YR who tracked him, and the artillery missed slightly. Lucky for him that he did repair so fast, because the next artillery shell wouldn't have missed for sure, and that would have done could have done a lot of damage. So yeah, he's safe now, but on the other side, it cost him his repair kit. So if he does come down to a fight, and his ammo rack, for example, gets hit, so his reload time is like half then, no chance he can repair it.
Yeah, indeed. Derp is busy covering at the moment on the airfield for any attack. Kuchokova Chaki is also just waiting behind the hill leading towards the hangars. He's actually quite advanced for a west spawning player, but still waiting for any sign. You can see his position right there. It's sort of limited really, because he can't really do much from there, and if he goes anywhere further out, he's spotted straight away. Although there is that pathway through the middle that sometimes you can thread through and get in there. I think we've got some action actually back over onto the ruins. Agriel getting a bit angsty to get up onto that hill and take it away from Begamot. It does have an advantage of having that hill. Yeah. You can spot from there, but usually the west-facing team own that area to start the game, and that's exactly what's happened here. We've played 3 minutes and 7 seconds, and so far it's just the one kill so far. Ronnie going down, but it's a tier 2, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, now they're sending Delgado over to the bottom site now, so that he can take the hill just because he's faster. He can dodge the shells from aiming 30-90. He's going to try to secure it for himself, and he has actually managed it so far. And he's trying to get a nice angle that he can spot what's going on up there. But now Agriel and Begamot are facing each other.
Well, they were.
They getting close to.
And then Begamot decided that actually he didn't want to engage just yet. 1390 versus 1390 up on that hill. So a very even battle. Comes down to the minutest things of making sure the accuracy is as good as it can possibly be to do the maximum amount of damage. And you can actually win a head-to-head in a 1390.
You can. It always depends on who has the first shot, though, and how the artillery backs you up. But yeah. I think both are scared of artillery. That's one of the most important things, and also who will get the first shot. Begamot is now maybe thinking about doing it.
Yeah, I mean, he's, you know, I think he wants to go. I think that's the thing right now. They're not used to having to wait, Virtus.pro, but they're giving MYM the ultimate respect right now. And again, he's spotted on top of the hill. And the T-52's coming round to join that 1390 now. So Delgado going to pop round here and back up Agriel. And I think MYM might have had enough of Begamot just holding on to the ruins area and might want to try and get rid of him here, either through a spot from the artillery. Some blind shots coming up. I don't think that did any damage, though.
No, it didn't. That was a miss.
MYM have taken the lead here, though, by getting rid of Dirt. But it's, again, T1. Sorry, it's 1-1 in the scoreline, and it's only a tier 1, so... Again, not a lead in terms of tier points, and we're down to half distance right now, 5 minutes left.
That's right. Still both teams are trying to gather information. I don't know where the other tanks are. YR did poke out, managed to spot Breakneck, but it cost him a bit of HP there. He's down to 899. So a nice snipe from a Breakneck. And he's just decided, okay, one shot connected. I'm happy with that. I'm getting out of here. And just started to back off. And still Positive and... Ostapbender still in the same position, not looking towards the middle anymore. Now turn around.
I thought Breakneck was busy writing something in the sand there. It looked like he was spelling out a letter on the floor for a moment. Instead, he was just going around a roundabout. But, well, he's happy to wait and see what MYM deliver. But at the moment, neither team able to take an advantage. Lovely little position, this one. I saw this a couple of weeks ago.
Again, it's map knowledge. Just knowing that you can get up there. Yeah. It's just, it impressed me every time.
Yeah, you can't get up from the other side, I might add. But it's a really good position, and it's a very good position indeed from Breakneck, who does land some damage on YR. He's now down to 354. Got to be careful here because artillery is starting to rain down. So Breakneck does back away.
Did take a shot from the Sturmpanzer.
Yeah, and has lost a track there. We'll get it repaired, though.
Didn't bother wasting his repair kit, though.
He didn't
because
need
he
to,
knew he was safe. Only artillery can hit him, and he can repair fast, and then artillery can reload. So no need to waste any repair kit. But again, he done his damage, and that's all that counts. And YR has to back off. He's down to 354.
I think we've got to push right now because we've got Breakneck and Amelka all making a way forward, backed up by Begamot here. There is a three-man tank, three-tank push now in towards the central area, around sort of E-line. E7, E8, and they are continuing to push on. Amelka's going to take the higher road, Begamot going to take the lower road, and they've got another man down there, Delight, also pushing forward. So they've had enough of this now, and they're going to force the issue as we are going to see Virtus.pro starting to attack MYM's positions.
Yeah, they know they're doing the damage on YR, so he's nearly dead. And also, they've just expecting a 39 to still be around the middle, so they can just outnumber MYM without any problems. And this is what they're going to do, but they're not pushing properly, so they're taking a lot of damage before they actually reach the positions from MYM.
Yes, they have. Breakneck down to 799. Amelka are down to 836. We're with Delight right now. He did spy one through the gap. That turret twitching around, waiting to fire off the shots. Fires it once, doesn't land the first shot, and doesn't land the second one either. So Delight, not a delight right now, but then the third one finally does connect. We've got Agriel also coming under fire from Breakneck now. This is anyone's game still, though. Still 2-1. Only that tier 8 down. And that would mean it's currently 8-3 overall. And more shots damaged here. But Delight is also taking some fire. He's down to 670 now against 805. And there is a man positive just behind him with 4 health as well. So he's got to be careful.
Agriel, he's encountering Breakneck. Had the HP advantage, but he just missed his last shell, tying things up again, because Breakneck managed to connect his shell. 598 HP left on Agriel, 542 left onto Breakneck. So it looks good for both teams, for both players, but also Bender now joining and also positive. I think they want to go 3-on-1 here.
Delight has actually found a really nice position here, and if he can land a couple of shots, this is going to be deadly from MY, and they've got no idea that they're behind him right now and not in front. And they have just absolutely no idea. Big damage landed from the shells of Delight. He then picks off another one. Amelka comes in to pick up the kill, and now Virtus.pro are on the rage now. They've picked up 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row. Begamot gets into winning the put. Ostap Bender replying on Amelka, but I think the damage is done here. 1 minute and 11 seconds remaining, and 4-2 the score line right now. And MYM down to 3 tier 8 tanks. They've got no artillery. They've been cleared out. And Delight and Breakneck, despite the fact that they've got very little health here, have still got a lot of work to do. Agriel down to 340. Breakneck also in there. They come face to face, turret to turret right now. Agriel down to 80 points. Any second now will be blown to smithereens, and Breakneck wins the battle, although he's only got 134. Enemy base starting to be captured as well. And now it's a 4 versus 2, as we've got Kuchok over Chaki inside the base. Positive's going to have to come back here.
Yeah, Positive can't go before he killed Delight. So
well, I'm slightly wrong because he doesn't have to come back. There's over a minute remaining on that cap, and there's only 20 seconds in the game. And currently, there's only 7 tier points between the 2 teams.
Yeah, but he has to get rid of that capping tank there. But he can't do it as long as
oh my goodness,
Delight is still there. But he's going for Delight now. Delight's down to 200 HP only. One more shell should do the job. Managed to finish him up, and now he's going back to the cap circle to do the decap.
Yeah, and you know what? He's done that. He's done that with 3 seconds remaining, and if he'd lived, it would have been a draw.
I didn't even look at the time.
It would have been a draw. 3 seconds remaining, and that would have been a draw if he'd lived. 3 more seconds, because they would have had only a tier 7 tank in advantage. So that's a close victory right now. That's a very, very close victory for Virtus.pro. MYM are slightly unlucky towards the end of that.
I didn't realise the time at the end.
Because it had gone so quickly. And we hadn't had much action in the first 7 minutes, but the last 3 couldn't keep up with it. So much fun.
So if they would have kept him alive, that would have been a draw, and we had seen the rematch. So really, really bad luck for them.
Yes, very huge kill right at the end of the game. And Positive actually did pick up 2 in that game for 980. But the real men's of the match, for me anyway, were Breakneck and Begamot. Both of them flanking round, getting rid of the artillery and then shooting him in the back. Really gave Virtus.pro the chance and the opportunity to take map 3. And they now lead by 2-1. We didn't have predictions at the start of this because we
it's a bit
both
late
kind
now,
of,
isn't it?
but we both kind of assumed that this would be a Virtus.pro win. Nothing against MYM, but
Yeah.
you know, 18 games in a row gives us a bit of a form guide, and you know.
But after they started off, I thought, well, MYM doing quite
looked
good,
really
and
good,
the second map was looking good. Like the first minute was looking good, but then I did lose it. So. And
that one was very close.
It was. So
3 seconds.
I would have said a 3-2 for Virtus.pro. Now looking at this, I think they're going to take the last map.
3-1.
Yeah, I think they're going to take the last map.
Yeah, we are going to move on to Prokhorovka, and we already have tank picking begun. So let's drop you into that right now. Prokhorovka, of course, is our 4th map of potentially 5, and picked so far in from MYM. They've gone for 1390s on both sides, and also Virtus.pro matching that with 1390. So no real surprise on Prokhorovka. A nice open map, though.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to see full light lineup, or well, light and medium maybe, and then a T69, and definitely artillery. Saying, artillery just got called from both teams. Lorraine 51 on each side and a T1 on each side. So far, first 4 picks.
So MYM are picking first, by the way, on Prokhorovka. So
are.
Virtus.pro are copying them right now.
So it's Virtus.
And if you believe that, you'll believe anything. There's no way.
Damn these Virtus.pro. They just copy. They copy it the whole season.
They pick whatever they want to pick. You know, they're doesn't afraid of anything because they'll pick whatever they want.
1390 and then T2 light from MYM. Let's see if Virtus.pro is going to pick whatever they want, or if they're just going to copy.
Well, they'll copy, but that's because it's their build.
Nah, they're just copying MYM.
No, it's their tank composition right now, and MYM have actually sussed it out. They've figured that that's what they're doing. So to be different, Virtus.pro are going to pick 252s.
Quite a good choice, 252s. We saw many times at the T52 at the end, if it comes down to like this big fight.
Hold on. It's 1390 overload right now. Because I make that 3 on each side. That's 4 now for MYM.
4 for MYM, 3 for Virtus.pro.
Yeah.
But the
and there's the final 1390. So they are going to go all out on the 1390s.
Yeah, there's another 2 minutes. I think I see a system behind it. They see they're both picks, they're both lineups, and then they're going to quick do a talk. All right, they have this lineup. Let's do this tactic. Blah blah blah. Quick discussion. Well, we talked about this tactic.
Correct.
This is what I'm going for.
That's exactly what they're doing. So let's just talk this through because this is a little bit interesting. They've both gone for the Lorraine, heavier artillery, tier 7, which then means they have to compromise slightly and take the 52s.
But that's good, because the T-52s, we saw
nice
many
and
times.
light, and they're very fast, and they're great for scouting on this particular map, and they've got a little bit of poke about them as well.
That's the thing, because I'm only facing 1390s without any armor. This little gun does 100 damage per shell, or can do up to 100 damage per shell, and has such a fast reload. When he sees the 39s on reload, he's going to just peek around, be so annoying, start clipping in these shells and do like 300, 400 damage and then get out of there again, you know. And we saw many times where, like the last tank standing, two tier 8s against 1 tier 8 and a 50-2, that usually wins because as soon as the shells are empty from the 3090s, that T50-2 usually finishes off 1 tier 8 tank and damages the other one enough that your final 3090 can kill him then. And that's why the T50-2s are really, really strong if you keep them alive. But also we see many times that teams lose them quite fast at the beginning. So it's all about keeping these tanks alive.
Indeed it is. On the flip side of it, that does leave them with just 3 tier 8 tanks, all of them 1390s, whereas MYM, of course, have gone for a full block of 4 1390s because they went for the T1 and the T2 light as their extra points remaining over. For me, the odd thing is this. Why 1390s? I mean, explain to people that don't play 7v7 in esports mode, why would you go for 1390s on Prokhorovka, whereas you mix up some IS3s and T69s and 62s and what have you on other maps?
Well, one thing is because of the terrain. You just can't gain speed in heavy tanks. So you're just a sitting duck there, and as soon as artillery starts aiming on you, you're going to take so much damage. That's why you usually don't go for heavy tanks. We saw a few months ago, T32, you can go in a nice hold-down position, what you can see here on the map. When you go up towards the middle, you've got a lot of terrain what can cover your hull, so you just peek out with your turret, do some damage, fall back again, you don't take damage yourself. But because you got the big artillery in there, now people, well, they don't even care, because if you're in that bowl, so what, just stay safe, let the artillery just clear the bowl then. And that's what they used to call it. It was like the famous bowls in the middle. So that's not a choice anymore either. So that's also the main reason why they go for light tanks, just because you need the speed and you need this, you need the camo values to stay in cover from the artillery if you're not moving. And then 1390s, you got the clip on board. So that's basically the main reason. You can go for T69. We saw that a few times as well, but it's a medium tank. It can be a bit slower. It doesn't have the camera value of a light tank. So overall, 3090 probably the best choice.
There you go. That's why we have 1390.
Yeah,
But we
like the
are
WZ.
underway. Sorry,
Yeah.
Stephen. We are
Yeah.
underway for the 4th map. We'll come to the WC Chinese tank in a moment. As we see Virtus.pro breaking out on the right-hand side. They've broken out so quickly, in fact, that the camera can't even keep up. That's how fast they were getting to the little village on the right-hand side. It's the only thing that can offer them any kind of cover, and they've immediately tried to corner someone over there. In fact, Begamot has, well, he's gone over and been a little bit annoying, but...
Oster Bender's taken so much damage, though,
Yeah,
trying to kill
exactly.
Begamot.
Yeah, he has. Been set up
He's
by
been killed.
Breakneck. Yeah, he has been taken down by Las Vegas in the Lorraine in the end. Breakneck was over there too. So was Delight, and so was Amelka, all laying the smackdown through the village. And that's worked out really nicely for the Russians. But that hasn't worked out nicely because the only man on the other side of the map has been blown to pieces. Kuchok over Chaki has also gone down. So one on each side has gone down.
And Begamot
actually,
following.
Begamot now as well. So that's 2 T5s, tier 5s have gone down and 1 tier 8. So we're actually no better off, even though it's 2-1 right now to MYM.
Yeah, I was about to say that was a nice start from Virtus.pro, taking down that 3090 really early, but now losing these 2 T50-2s, you first of all lose your tier point difference, and you're losing your 2 T50-2s, what's a big thing. But
True.
in the meantime, the Lorraine archery is getting hunted down.
Yeah, and true, but the other thing that's important is that they've still got 3 tier 8 tanks, as Amelka does pick off Winnie the Pooh in that Lorraine. So he's gone down. He was desperately trying to get back to some cover behind the cap circles. So they've lost their artillery as well. And on top of that, they only have 3 tier 8 tanks as well. So this is absolutely even right now, other than Virtus.pro have the advantage of the artillery.
Yeah, and that's why it comes down to now. They actually use this artillery. Amelka is now looking towards the middle, seeing Agriel. Shells are being fired. Agriel was only tracked, so he's got away without taking damage. Managed to connect the shell onto Amelka. He's down to 900 now. But at this point, not such a big deal. Positive is going on to Delight. And it's actually looking really good for Delight. He's getting backed up from Amelka and Lorraine artillery's on the other side. He has to watch out.
Oh, what do you know? Agriel puts himself in between his teammate and the fire, takes one for the team, as it were. Positive survives somehow with 111 damage, and they picked up the kill as well.
But Agriel taking one for the team, but he wasn't taking the small one. He took the artillery shell, 1,000 damage onto him. That shell should have rather go into positive then, because he only had 100 HP left. Rather connect that shell, taking 1,000, only being left with 100. Easy kill for Amelka, who was still sitting at in the north position.
Indeed, so we're 3 versus 3 now, with 6:55 remaining on Prokhorovka. And MYM have somehow got themselves back into this game after looking like they were down and out. And Virtus.pro have the advantage of health here. Ronnie with just 87 points of health. He's in that tier 1 anyway, so that won't make a difference between the two teams, because that will still leave 7 points on the board. And that's the annoyance about the Lorraine. It does actually stop a team winning by 8 clear points, because there's only 7 on it. So,
but on the other side, we just saw what a Lorraine can do.
Oh,
1,000 damage shell into a tank. That's a lot of firepower. But at this point, they need to do the damage.
Here we go. Look at this Breakneck. One side of the tracks, on the other side of the tracks, just over the lip, are Ronnie and YR, and I don't think they know he's there.
Yeah, they're spotting each other, the proxy.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, of course they are, because they're going to spot them from the proxy. Now they do. But I think they were trying to get away from him, because it almost looked like the turrets weren't facing backwards. They weren't prepared to fire on him. But I think they're more worried about where they're going to be seen on the other side. Now, if the artillery can make a move as well here... Oh,
yeah, it looks like...
Breakneck actually did take a little bit of damage there as well.
His ammo rack is hit as well. It doesn't look like he has a repair kit, otherwise he would have been repairing that ammo rack. So that's an important thing, but I'm not sure if MYM knows it. They have to look at the tank, because they have this perk on the crew skill. If you look at the tank, you can see what modules are broken. But I'm not sure if they're actually aware of this, and they think about, hang on, let's have a look if we actually managed to damage something. But he did repair his ammo rack now.
He did repair anyway, and that will be an easy kill. So the Lorraine proving its worth once more.
Another one shot.
Yeah, another one shot. I mean,
damage.
it didn't really matter on wire. That was kind of excessive, but he has got the first one now. Ronnie firing away here from that little T1. Oh my goodness, this is like taking candy from a baby. Easy does it for Breakneck, and that'll be GG again. And Virtus.pro have won by 3 games to 1.
That was nice at the end. 139, just proxy spotting. They know that, exactly that they can't kill each other breakneck down there. They know if you go over the tracks, we're going to get shot anyway. So just wait, and then just waited for the Lorraine to get a nice position, get a nice angle, aim towards White R, who was at the bottom. One shot even, job done. Even if it would have been a one shot, 600, 700 damage, would have been enough for breakneck to actually make the move, then go over the tracks and finish him off. But yeah, just finish it off with a one shot.
Job done for the Lorraine. 2,745 damage for 2 kills. So we were saying earlier on that the Bison has suddenly become the best value for money artillery. But when you play it well, as Las Vegas has done on that one, the Lorraine can be absolutely deadly. 2,745.
And it's not just the damage. Not just the damage. It was like one was a one shot, and the other one was a 1,000 damage shot, leaving the tank with 100 HP. It needed one shot as well. So that's 2 tanks instantly killed by the Lorraine artillery. Can't get better. And
Breakneck picked up the scraps because he got 3 for 621 in that game. So there we go. Virtus.pro safely ensconced at the top of the World of Tanks Pro League here in Europe. And they are now just 1 win away from claiming the championship. They will have won the league. But will they win the entire season? That's still to come at DreamHack. They're already guaranteed of being there, and they're already guaranteed of being there in the top 2 positions. They're also now 6 points clear of Synergy, even if Synergy win this evening, and they play each other on the final day of the season next Thursday.
And to be honest, I think Virtus.pro is going to take that one as well.
I think they will too. It would be a very foolish man that bet against Virtus.pro winning the title now. Are you that man?
I'm not.
No, I'm not either. So no risky bets from us. Before we wrap
we should get Carmack. He would just do
Carmack would probably take that bet.
And he would win it as well.
And he would win it. I know. Somehow he would contrive to win the bet, so I'm not even going to take it if he's involved. We're going to take a very quick break. But before we do that, let's check in with Melly on the social media and see if any of you out there were courageous enough to pick up a bet against Virtus.pro.
No.
Didn't think so.
Easy answer. No.
Didn't think so.
No. The vote constantly said, well, I have it somewhere.
Like 100%.
Around 70% for
70%.
So there was
some then.
But we had some people guessing the results in the chat, and they were right.
3-1?
Yeah, exactly.
Good people in the chat. Know their World of Tanks. Good to see.
I have questions.
Good. Yeah, let's take a couple of questions before we have a break.
Best competitive heavy tank?
IS-3.
Yeah, I completely agree on that. It used to be the T-32, but IS-3 just turned out to be the way better tank.
It's the easiest tank, if you like, for me. It's the easiest tier 8 tank for me. Good damage, good mobility,
and the turret,
decent armor, turret. It's not the best of everything, but it's better than most things at everything. It's a jack of all trades kind of tank from my point of view.
The turret is, well, it's not as strong as the T-32 as you said, but it's good enough to keep up with it. It has the highest alpha damage, so that's always a nice thing. The reload time
isn't as bad as some of the others.
I think it's even the worst from all, but because
is it really?
Yeah, I think it has the highest from all tier 8 tanks we've seen as well. That's why I think so. But that doesn't matter either, because the way the teams play it, it doesn't matter. If it's 8 seconds, 9 seconds, and 7 seconds, just keep it behind the building.
Indeed.
So overall, completely agree. IS-3.
Okay.
Lead tank.
Any others?
Best tier 8 premium tank for credit farming?
Ooh. No idea.
For me, it's a Type 59. You can't buy that one anymore, but I think I just like the way it plays. But many would say it's a Super Pershing. So one of the 2 medium tanks. They just because it's the most fun to play, easiest to play, and the easier it gets to play, the better your results are. And that's what you want on a premium tank.
Yep. Last question.
One more.
Yes. The last.
Oh, yeah.
Which tree uses the least XP to get to tier 10?
Wow.
You don't know that,
really?
Steven?
I think they're nearly all the same. I'm just trying to cheat in that one as well. It looks like I think they're nearly all the same. It just comes down to a couple of thousand.
Tim should show the tree on the screen right now.
Yeah,
just to show. There we go. Look.
Oh yeah, because you can look here. You got 200,000 on a tier 10 medium tank, but your tier 9 only costs 142,000, while the tier 9 heavy tanks cost 164,000. So overall, it's nearly the same. There's only a couple of thousand difference, but there's a website out there. I don't know what it is, but you can just Google. You can just Google whatever. Google will find whatever you need. Just write just like something.
Hang on, it will find whatever. Just write anything.
Yeah, and you'll find anything.
Really? That's amazing. That sounds like a search engine.
Really?
That's what it sounds like.
I think
That's
it is.
damn amazing.
No, but if you just Google World Tank's tier point calculator, it's going to give you a website where you can just type, you click on a tank what you want, and it works out how much it's going to cost you for researching everything in that tier tree, or only researching the minimum to get to that tank where you want to go.
Okay.
And also give you the credit price. So
good stuff.
That's the best thing.
I like
I'll try to find it in the break.
And we'll drop it
post
in the chat.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Melly.
Welcome.
We'll drop back in with you again. Of course, the birthday girl from yesterday brings you more social media in the second game. And our second game this evening is going to be another cracker. We have Mouse versus Spale.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to that one. I just look forward
You
to
just
any
don't
game
know what
from
you're going to
Spale.
get from Spale at all. It could be anything. And Mouse right now doing really well in third place, but they do want to go to the playoffs directly in second place, and they do have a chance still. An outside shot, admittedly, 6 points behind Synergy in third place. Synergy currently occupying second, but Synergy still need to play Virtus.pro, and Mouse Sports have a game in hand. So tonight's match against Spale for them is a must-win game. Don't miss it. We'll be back after the break.